Hello friends and welcome to RDTV today. As always, my name's Paul, you're watching us on YouTube and Twitch, and we're driving, and it's long overdue, the Formula E layout of the Monaco E-Prix for rFactor 2. This is a track that came out for the Studio 397 developed racing sim rFactor 2 a little while ago. Came out hot on the heels of the latest Gen 2 specification Formula E car, and I've left it way too long for a variety of reasons to go out on track and give it a try. So I've got a field of 23 Formula E cars to contend with, a street circuit that's incredibly difficult, and a car that lights up its rear tyres faster than anything I've driven recently. And I'm going to talk to you guys while doing it. So hey ho! Let's go have some fun and let's have a look at some of the latest content to be released for rFactor 2. Let's get on track. Okie pokie, diddly okay, here we go. Let's go Monaco E-Prix racing. So I'm in the Gen 2 Formula E car, oh so very recently released by Studio 397. I've done a little video on this car already, so we'll not talk too deeply about the Gen 2 Formula E car. Apart from saying that I am actually really impressed with this car, even though I'm not much of a fan of the real life series. I like the virtual version as I back out of a pass into the difficult little hairpin. First thing you'll notice, this is the Formula E layout of the Monaco Grand Prix street circuit that many of you I'm sure will know and love. So it's a little bit different. This section's the same, the last portion of the lap is the same as the Formula 1 version, but it's at the beginning where all the changes take place. So we're not running the full Grand Prix layout of the Streets of Monaco circuit. We've got a few, just caught it, Formula E specific changes. So you'll notice now, coming up into the first corner, we don't then power on up the hill. 6.84. As my little spotter tells me what to do. Go into this little tight chicane over the crest, and then come back down into another hairpin. Joins up at the chicane on the Formula 1 layout. So no need to go through the tunnel here today. And it's not a bad little layout. I mean, this is obviously the E-Prix, so this is designed, this replicates the Formula E layout that is used in the all-electric Formula E series cars that we're driving now. But it's actually a really good inclusion to the sim for a whole host of other lower-powered cars. I'm specifically thinking things like the MCR 2000 that came as part of the equally quite recent Riser Studios DLC bundle. The MCR Sport 2000, they're a really good combination. There's also the Formula V cars are very entertaining around here, and a whole bunch of other things really. It's a good circuit to rotate into the collection of tracks that is rapidly growing, put my teeth in rFactor 2 at present. And it's just as challenging as the Monaco Grand Prix layout. Any kind of track like this where there's no runoff, you've got barriers right next to you, always represents a very difficult time as I kiss the barrier, but I've got no damage on, so we get away with that. And the Formula E car's a little bit more robust than other open wheelers. There's a little bit more protection on the side because of the nature of the series and the tracks and the drivers. There is a lot of contact in Formula E, so the cars are a little bit tougher than a traditional open wheel car.
Was a 57.32.
You may have got used to. I forgot to turn off or turn down the spotter in this video, so I'm going to shut up as I cross the line every time, not to be competing with his very excitable voice telling me what lap time I'm pulling off. Now, talked about the layout a little bit, and a very nice layout it is indeed, but one thing I really must say is the quality of the track is exceptional. A long while ago now, feels like only yesterday, but I'm sure it was quite a bit back, I lauded the Sebring, the laser scan Sebring that Studio 397 created as being, and I quote, arguably the finest sim track in the whole of sim racing. Stand by that, I really do. I think Sebring is truly exceptional.
7.32.
Thank you. I think Sebring's truly exceptional. But this Monaco E-Prix circuit that Studio 397 have created is on a par with that quality, in my humble opinion. It looks the absolute business. You can see here I'm running on the single screen 144Hz monitor on my experience at the moment, and visually it is absolutely chock-a-block full of detail. The colour palette feels nice, the way that they've artistically put it together just looks absolutely beautiful. It feels like I'm at the real deal, apart from I can buy my beer at home for free because I've already bought it from the supermarket. At the real Monaco, I'm sure you're looking at £8 a pint, but I think it looks visually absolutely fabulous. As I say, it's
57.06.
There we go, thank you. It's really rich in detail on the circuit, the shadows as they're coming down from the overhanging trees into this little run into the hairpin we've got here. The yachts in the harbour, the sea, the big posh buildings overlooking the track. Best seats in the house you've got there. Everything, the boats that you can see, the yachts that you can see at the side of us. It all just looks the real deal, really, of the highest calibre. And it's a great circuit, in my opinion, for really showing off the graphical improvements that rFactor 2 has undertaken in recent months, the last 12, 18 months or so. Graphically, this experience I'm having now is night and day better than my experiences in rFactor 2 from just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's an entirely different sim.
57.26.
There we go, thank you very much. And I think that is to be commended. The track, I believe, quote, forgive me if I'm wrong here, is using some of the new shader technology that Studio 397 is slowly but surely developing and rolling out to the wider sim. And it's, yeah, if this is the new standard for rFactor tracks, and we've seen it already in the updated Zandvoort that's come out just on in and around the timings of the Formula 1 Zandvoort announcement as well. That one also looks absolutely top draw. So I'm very excited for any future track-related content that comes out for rFactor 2, because it looks the bee's knees. And then we get on to what's arguably more important than visuals, is the feeling of the circuit.
That was a 56.87.
Thank you. Is the feeling of the track itself. Now, I'm unreservedly an rFactor fan. I've always enjoyed the sim massively for its force feedback and its physics and the way the game, as I mount the curb, the way the game interacts with my force feedback steering wheel. I've always thought it's been up there at the very top of the list of top quality sims. So, especially after Sebring and then Zandvoort and also the Riser DLC packs, I've got high expectations of circuit releases by Studio 397 nowadays. And the Monaco E-Prix does not disappoint in any way, shape or form. It feels like it's been really well put together. I've noticed no issues or bugs or problems with the circuit at all.
It was a 57.50.
Thank you. The road mesh feels really detailed. I can feel the undulations and the bumps in the road, because bear in mind, this is a public street when not a racetrack. Okay, it's at Monaco, so it's not exactly like it's the local downtown shops where me and you live, with potholes and knackered roads and cars parked on grass verges when they shouldn't be. It is a little bit posher than that. It's Monaco after all, and you're poor if you've got less than 10 million in your bank around these parts. But the way they represent the fact that this is a dirty, gritty little road turned into a racetrack for a couple of short weekends every year is fabulous. really pleased with the road feeling. Nowhere near as bumpy as Sebring, of course, because Sebring is naturally...
That was a 56.88.
Sebring is naturally a very bumpy circuit, but you really got a gritty feel. You really do feel like you're driving a car that's on a road. You're not driving ones and zeros and digital numbers and program stuff. It feels to me like I'm driving a car on the road, and that is just in. That's not just in the Formula E cars, which are of particularly high quality. I've driven the track in a couple of other different pieces of content, one mod and a couple of either Studio 397 original or Riser DLC cars. It feels just as good in all of them. Really, really impressed. I'm starting to get a bit of dab on now, to be honest. I've got a direct drive wheel, and this track gives you nowhere to rest. So constant turning and concentrating
56.76
is starting to get me a little bit on the warm side, which is what you want, which is always good. Not helped by floodlights also shining in my face. But yeah, I really like this track. It'd be awesome. Don't get me wrong, everybody would like to see the full Monaco Grand Prix layout used. That would be absolutely wicked and would be very gratefully received if a future DLC or update comes out where those little concrete barriers at the Formula E specific turn 1 hairpin vanished and allowed you to climb up the hill and complete the rest of the track. But whether that's possible or not, who knows? That's for the future. Maybe I'll see if I can get an interview with Marcel further down the line and see what he's got to say about it. But let's see what the spotter has to say.
The lap was a 57.77.
A 57.77 because I'm stuck in traffic. And this just goes to show, folks, how incredibly difficult it is to pass at Monaco. I've got more pace, I feel, than these cars in front of me, but there is just nowhere to make that move. And I love that, actually, about sim racing. I always remember growing up with the early, they're hard to call them sim racing games, but early racing games on the old Spectrum, and then the Mega Drive, then the PlayStation 1, Psygnosis Formula 1, the original Psygnosis Formula 1 game, which, if memory serves me correct, and it probably doesn't, I think was 1995 season, might have been, no, yeah, 95 season, I think it was. I remember playing those games.
56.93.
You just didn't have to make an overtake, you just basically breezed past other cars. So I love it that sim racing's got to the point now where I've really got to think about how I'm going to overtake this guy. And needless to say, if I do manage to get a run, he's only going to go and defend the inside line anyway. And on a track like Monaco, that basically means I've absolutely got no chance. And if anything, I'm more likely to make a mistake and allow the car behind me past than I am to be able to put a move as I just touch the barrier again a little bit. Gentle kiss. Yeah, it's more likely that the other guy's going to pass me as I look at the inside into the hairpin. But not good enough for a run. Discretion is the better part of valour here, folks. So give it a bit of the slow down pedal and let him get on his way again. And we'll try again in a minute.
The lap was a 57.09.
Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit onto sim racing in general terms, rather than talking about the Monaco E-Prix circuit in rFactor 2. So, if you've not already got this track, because as I say, I'm a little bit late out of the blocks in doing this video for a number of reasons. I've purchased a few bits of hardware that's taken me a while to configure. I've got zero free time, etc, etc. Stopped me from getting this video out sooner. But if you've not already purchased it and you're thinking about it, you can buy it as either a standalone piece of content. So you can buy just the E-Prix layout, only comes in one configuration, and that's the one that we're driving now. You can buy that from the respective rFactor 2 Steam store page, but you can also buy
57.54.
you can also buy a special bundle that's got the 2018 Formula E car, the Gen 2 Formula E car, which I am piloting as we speak, and the track as well, for a net amount smaller than it would be if you were just purchasing car and track alone. And I've got to admit, this is by no means a sales pitch, but I do recommend them. As I say, I'm no fan, really. I've tried, I just don't like it. I'm no fan of the real life Formula E category, personally, but I absolutely love the sim racing experience of driving these kind of cars on these kind of circuits. It's something massively unique, and I've got to run, so I'm going to shut up and see if I can get this guy at the inside.
That was a 56.0.
Yes. Careful on the brakes. Oh, sorry, my friend. Got a bit of a lock and hit the back of the Jag, but we've made it past. Happy days, and now I've compromised the Jaguar coming to the hairpin, so I'm going to go wide. Give him a little bit of racing room, see if I can get back on the gas. No, he wildly defends. Jean-Eric Verne looks to make a pass back off of me. Bit of bumping and boring. That's not bad sim racing, that's just how you overtake in Formula E. So that's perfectly that's perfectly fine as we run into the last 5 minutes of the race. So yeah, I do really like these. I really like the Formula E car. I think it's the basic stuff like the force feedback and all that, and the physics are really, really good. Really, really communicative and tell me what the car's doing. But I also just like the fact it's something very different.
The lap was a 57.45.
Thank you, Mr. Spotter. I just like the fact it's something very different to what I'm used to in sim racing, and I like the different and unusual stuff, so it appeals to me in that regard. There's something of a little change of pace. Very difficult car to drive, very snappy on the brakes, very easy to snatch a brake and lock up, and because it's an electric car, there's instant power demand, so it's very torquey on the rear end as well, so you've got to be really delicate and gentle with your feet, which is nice. I enjoy it as that were a bit amateur. Very, very scruffy. That'd have been me out of the race if I'd have got damage on. But it doesn't matter. We live to fight another day, and really getting a dab on now. So that's a lot about what there is to say.
56.97.
Thank you, Mr. Spotter. That's really a lot of all there is to say about the Monaco E-Prix in rFactor 2, one of the latest new circuits to come to the sim since Studio 397 took over development a couple of years or so ago now. And I think in summary, the takeaway from it is it will not be to everybody's tastes because of what it is. It's a short Formula E street track. It's not the full Monaco that we all know from Formula 1, which I'm sure will irritate some people. But in terms of quality, the product is fabulous. It really is a well put together track. It runs nice and smooth. I've got OBS running. I'm running on a single screen. I've got a full field Formula E cars. I've got quite high graphic settings going on here, and I'm running 130 FPS at the moment, even with all these shadows. So it runs, for me at least, with the setup that I've got, really nice and smooth. And in terms of the feeling, the road mesh is really good. It gives you a nice, it talks to you, the track does, and really tells you where the cambers and the bumps are, and gives you that used public street feel to it, which is really nice. It's massively realistic, so it's been put together with data and information and drawings from Formula E, so you've got a superbly realistic layout compared to the real life equivalent, which is always massively important to us sim racers. Of course, you want the realism level to be high.
7.28.
And I managed to make a pass without overshooting. Yeah, so you can overtake in Monaco, people. There you go. There you go. That's evidence, if ever evidence was needed. Overtaking is possible. So yeah, I really like this track. I hope very much that this is a continuation of the quality levels we can expect from Studio 397 for rFactor 2 going forward, because the last few that they've done, the Sebring circuit, the massive update, which in effect pretty much a brand new track for Zandvoort, and this one, have all been really, really high quality, and have shifted things up yet another notch in the sim. So really like that, really pleased with it.
The lap was a 56.29.
Now I'm starting to benefit from having saved a little bit more electricity by the seams of it, so I'm closing down the pack in front a little bit now, and trying to make some places in the dying embers of this here 20-minute race. Although my tyres are got a bit leery on the way out, and I think this feels like a good enough time to start thinking about wrapping up this video. So the track's out now. So as I say, you can find it standalone or part of a bundle within the Steam store page, or rFactor 2. A little bit of a complicated way to find content in that, but I'm sure you'll work it out. And it's been out for a couple of weeks or so now, so apologies for the lateness in getting this video together for you. But I hope you've enjoyed it, found it entertaining and maybe a bit useful.
The lap was a 57.36.
As we head in to the final lap, just enough time for me to put some final thoughts on. I love it. I think it's really good for Formula E. It's awesome to see another official Formula E circuit to join the official Hong Kong and the Fantasy Leicester Special Edition. I think it's a very usable track with a wide variety of other cars as well, and the quality is very high visually and in feeling, and yeah, I really, really like it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got time for in this episode, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I've been Paul, this has been RaceDepartment. Please do give us a like and a subscribe on Twitch and YouTube. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we've got a new podcast, so go check that out too. Till next time, guys, sim racing's awesome. I've been Paul, this has been Monaco E-Prix in rFactor 2. Stay safe, catch you next time.